Hey world, jeg heter Zektarim Lord. Hey world, it is I, Zektarim Lord, and yet again another YouTube video. Now, it has been I want to say a few weeks, maybe even a month or so since I last made the last video. But yeah, here I am again, and as some could tell, if they follow trends well, today is a special day, even though I am technically making this portion of the video a day early, the portion of me talking to you. It will be released tomorrow on the actual day, but I figure, you know what the heck, I don't got time due to work. I'm going to make this portion of the video right now. But yes, as the title may suggest, and as you could probably tell if you follow trends, not that anyone watches my channel, but we've hit a time mark. Today's video is 2 years of hair. Let's go. I am excited to have reached this mark in my hair. It has been a while, and yeah, I really like my hair, and I am excited that I have reached this time point in growing out my hair. Now, as for the contents of this video, here's how it will go. I will start off like with the other ones and share what I have learned about hair in general for those that want to grow out their hair. Then we will have the time lapse of the hair itself, the growth time lapse, and then we'll end with showing off my hair and stuff. But yes, without further ado, let's get into it. And so, as mentioned to start off, we will talk about hair in general. I think in general, women will be more accustomed to knowing stuff about hair than us men. That's why recently, in the last who knows how many years, you've seen a lot of these hair growth videos by men. Let's be honest, as we all know, growing out our hair as men has been shunned on for years. And so, first off, I want to start off by talking about that, and want to give my advice to those that plan to grow out the hair. So if you are a guy and you're planning to grow out your hair, there are some struggles and trials that do come with that. Obviously, we don't live in a perfect world. This world is far from perfect, and so that is a reality you will need to accept if you do choose to go down this path. First off, as far as the growth itself, I'm going to tell you right out, it is a journey of patience. Your hair takes a while to grow. They average that you can grow about half a foot of hair, or 6 inches. If I remember right, it's with each year that's how much you grow, is half a foot. So you're gonna have to be patient with yourself and your hair. Now, one thing I will mention is that growth will show differently in different people's, because of two main things that do happen. One thing is the speed of growth, and another thing is just your hair type. And so I will go over that. So first off, the growth of the hair itself. When it comes to hair growth, you know, as much as people want to pretend that these things do not exist, there is a difference when it comes to, well, your ethnicity, your race. There's going to be a different growth rate depending on what race you are. So depending on what race you are, it might grow faster or might grow slower. And so that's just a thing that does happen, and you know, as much as we might want to pretend that those things don't exist, they do. It's just part of our DNA. There's nothing you can do about it, and that's okay. Um, so there is that. Just know that that can be an effect. The second thing I want to bring up with that is hair type. There's different types of hair, which again are largely dependent on your DNA and your specific ethnicity and race. And so basically, essentially, there are 3 types of hair that kind of have 3 categories to just blend it into the next one. And so ideally what you would want is the straight hair type. If your hair is straight, obviously it's going to show a lot more. I mean, I'm not saying that's necessarily like the best hair type, but I'm just saying if what you want to see is the length at a faster rate, it's going to be the straight hair because it's going to show more because it's elongated. The next hair type, which there's a lot of people that will have this type, is wavy hair. So wavy hair, you know, it's not necessarily straight, but it's not curly either. It just kind of, you know, subtle. It's waves, and so it'll still show quite a bit, but it's not going to be as showing necessarily as a straight hair type. And then finally, the last type of hair is curly hair, and so you get these little curls. And so if you do have this hair type, you're going to be the type of person that does need to have a lot of patience because it's going to take your hair longer and longer to show that length. Because it's kind of like with my beard. Beards are technically, for the most part, a type of curly hair. But you'll see, you know, comes to here or whatever, but then you can really, if you pull this stuff down, and you find out there's a lot of it that's hidden. And that's just part of how hair works, is when it's curly, it's bunched up, and so it's not going to show as well. And so, for example, some people can get this giant afro that like comes out to here, but then you pull down the hair and it comes down like long. So just know that that is an effect in your hair and just how well that shows. But yeah. So those. So first off is patience. The other thing that I will advise is you're going to need a strong mind. Let's be honest. We're in a time that has been led by people that have had traditional ideas, and that their ideas have been set in stone, and they are afraid of change. And so you will get a lot of people that have this traditional idea about men, where, you know, men have short hair, and it's, you know, and especially if they're a businessman type, they're also clean shaven. So do know, no matter the type of hair, there are going to be some jerks out there that will not agree with your hairstyle if you do grow out your hair or your beard. Usually it's going to be the hair that has more troubles than the beard. You know, beards, they might be like, okay, you're a little sloppy. But then if you have long hair, they'll either say that you're lazy or homeless or a slob, or they'll just straight out call you either a girl or they'll think you're queer or something. And so do know that that is an effect. Of course, if you do categorize that, like, who the heck cares? It works for you anyways. But if you are a just a normal, well, I'm not going to say normal per se, but like, let's just say if you're a male and you're straight and stuff, and you do grow out your hair, there's going to be a lot of pushback against that. So just know that that is a thing, and all you got to do is just keep doing it, and just build up your mind. It's all in here. It is the battle, because, you know, humans were kind of we're kind of coded to want to care about what other people think, but in reality, the person whose thoughts you should put as number one is your own. How do you feel about yourself? And that's part of the hair journey. Is some of us just feel a lot better and think we look a lot better this way. I'm definitely like that. Before having the beard and hair, I definitely had some image issues. I frankly thought I was kind of ugly, but I think that this beard and hair really helps to elevate my looks. And of course, that's just personal preference for myself, but I do really think that. And anyways, that is the first bits I wanted to share with that. Some other things I can say with hair. One thing you'll learn real quick is that you're gonna have to develop your own hair care plan. Keeping care of short hair is quite a bit different than with long hair. Short hair, you can pretty much get away with most anything, but long hair is a different battle. I do think in some ways that having long hair is easier than having short hair, but there are some ways where it's not as easy. First off, of course, for short hair, I was like this. I had and still have dandruff problems, but I think with long hair, it's a little bit worse. After a few days, your head's gonna get really, really itchy. And one thing I will share with that about that is that does also affect your beard as well. People don't realize this, but especially when you have a longer beard, it's still hair, and so it transforms your face to being essentially like the top of your head, and so you get dandruff everywhere. It's not fun after a few days, after a shower or bath. It does get itchy, but you know, I guess you'll just have to figure out how you want to deal with that. Of course, it's a problem for me because I'm trying to go with a more natural shower pace, which I'll get into. So basically, how the science of showering and bathing works is that, so you get your hair wet, right? And then what'll happen is you put the shampoo and stuff in your hair, and what that shampoo does is that it clings onto all the dirt, and then when you rinse it out, the dirt goes out with it. And one thing, and this includes, you know, dirts, oils, everything. And so what this can do is it can leave your, you know, scalp dry. And so personally, for a more natural kind of pace, I don't do the recommended by, you know, health people, whatever. I don't do the every other day showering or the everyday showering. I tend to shower every fourth day as best as I can help it. Sometimes it gets a little earlier than that, sometimes it's later, but that's what I usually do. Just for a more natural rate, so that way my hair can have the natural oils, and so that way my body doesn't feel like it has to constantly, you know, shove oils out, you know. And I will say with that though, of course, to each their own. Conditioner is not a good idea for your hair, because what conditioner does is it just puts oils back. And so what ends up happening though is you're putting this oil on your scalp and in your hair, and then your body is producing more oil. And so after a while, hypothetically, what you'll end up with is just greasy hair. Of course, I don't use conditioner because of this, but who knows, maybe it's not really like that, but that's at least what I have seen. So I just use shampoo, plus it's cheaper just using one product instead of two, which is another thing. When it comes to hair care, when you're dealing with one part of your hair, when your hair is shorter, you can use less. There we go, English. But when it's longer, you end up using more product. And so basically, by having both shampoo and conditioner, it's kind of like really expensive, because instead of like a small glob, it takes like a good sized glob. The longer and longer the hair gets, that is one thing to consider. Now another thing I will say is if you decide to be a bearded person, your beard is as important to wash out as your hair. So I do know that that is a thing. I will also say the longer your hair gets, one thing you will need to purchase if you don't already have it in your home is a blow dryer. Of course, you could just air dry your hair, but I will say not only is it kind of gross, it's also really annoying, because then you just have these wet strands of hair hanging in front of your face, and just touching you everywhere. And we all know that having wet stuff touch us is not always fun. Anyways, so do know that that is a thing. Blow dryers do become important. And kind of my tips as far as blow drying goes is it's more important the longer it gets, but essentially what you'll want to do is you'll take the blow dryer and just kind of, you know, blow it in certain areas at a time for a little bit. You know, you go around and then alternate between cold air and hot air, because you don't want to fry your hair necessarily, because that can damage it. And also while you're blow drying it, it's helpful to comb it out while you're doing that. So yeah, that's a thing. Try to comb it out while you're doing that. I'll display this later, but another thing that is going to become quite important to you as you grow out your hair is figuring out a comfortable way to sleep. I'm just going to try to paint the picture for you rather than display it. But essentially what will happen is the longer it gets, the closer it gets to other parts of your body. And so what can happen the longer it gets is that it gets in the way. This is something I'm figuring out, especially with sleep more than anything else. Because what will happen sometimes, I'm a toss and turner, and so sometimes I'll accidentally like put my arm on my hair when I'm trying to toss myself or whatever, and then like I get stuck. So what I have been resorting to avoid that is I take a beanie, and like what I'll do is I'll flip all my hair to the top of my head, and then I'll just put a beanie over everything, so that way my hair is kept up. You could try other things that work for you, but that's what I do. I also think it's helpful for me in general. I have some insomnia problems, so it's hard to sleep. And part of the reason for my insomnia is that just being a Caucasian person with blue eyes, one thing people don't realize with blue-eyed people is that because there's not enough, what is that chemical called, melanin or something, in our eyes. I don't know science words, but basically, the way eyes work is that when you have lighter eyes, not that this is an eye video, your eyes can potentially be affected by light and the sun more. And so basically when it's night, basically think of it like this. I basically have night vision. You can turn the lights off. Of course, instantaneously, I won't be able to see anything for a while. But then my eyes will adjust, and I can literally see anything in my room. Like that. And you can, like, make it really dark. Any faint light will make me be able to see everything, pretty much. And so, it does help. I have an eye mask, and then with the beanie that also helps. Not that this is about sleep and eyes, but yeah. That, I can't think of the word, but, that divergence aside, hair, yes. But yeah, that is some general information about hair. Just know that it does take a while to grow it out, and there is going to be some impatience with your hair. And there's also going to be some people that want to ridicule you for your hair, and know that you're gonna have to learn and grow with it, and that there are gonna be some experiences that do happen with that. But yeah, without further ado, though, we will now move on to the time lapse, which will start right now. Alrighty, guys. So now we have seen that time lapse, and yes, it has indeed gotten quite long. I love my hair, and I can't wait for the coming years. But before we speculate and look forward to the future, now that you've seen the hair, I will let my hair down and kind of show you in video what it is like. And so here goes. Alrighty, so got that thing out. So let me comb it out a bit. What we can expect is for your hair after 2 years of growth to be something like this. So what they say is after 2 years of growth, it should be able to reach about your collarbone, which it does. Of course, I think I am lucky. I'm on the faster growth spectrum because where I am a bigger person, I am like 6'4", 6'5". I have Scandinavian blood, and so yeah, I'm kind of just bigger in general. I think I do have faster growth because it has reached that point it's supposed to, and I do have some slightly larger than normal people features about me. But what I might do now is, even though the background might be a little ugly, we're gonna take you up so that way you can see as I spin around. You'll be able to see how my hair is. So let's do that. Alrighty. So, and please don't mind the lighting. I know it's not the greatest, but so yeah, we'll kind of spin around and show you guys the hair. So here's from this side. From this side, you'll see kind of just the hair in general kind of reaches a little bit past the shoulders, and then from the back you'll see a dramatic difference probably though. This is one thing with my hair, is that just with how I grew it out and when and how, it has given the back of the hair a lot more time to grow than the front. And so you'll see this is some of the back hair. It's from the back of the head. It's a lot longer than the stuff that's coming from the top. And why this happens, and this is actually a good point for me to share about that. The reason that happens is, you see, sit you down. There you are. The reason that happens though is that the sides and back of your head are obviously lower than the top, and all your hair pretty much grows at the same rate. So if you think about it, this coming from here is different than that coming from here. And so the back of your head is going to reach places way before the top. And so what I would suggest then, just so that way you can, if you want to even things out, of course having layers isn't bad, I don't mind it, but I would suggest growing the top of your hair until it can firmly maybe reach around here, unlike me, because mine kind of was here, so I would grow it a few inches more. If I were to restart, that's how I would do it. So that way it could even out more, but I don't really care. I'm not gonna get it trimmed up or anything, at least not anywhere soon. But yeah, I will also say this is between 1.5 years and 2 years. This is the time where your hair is in general long enough for you to put it in a ponytail. I'm not going to display that now, um, but that is probably the prime time. So no, if ponytails is what you're going for, you're going to have to wait a year and a half to a year. Or sorry, 2 years. um, English, and yeah. Um, but yeah, it's been a great 2 years. I look forward to the next video, which is going to be 2.5, and to the video after that, which will be 3. From my understanding, by the time I get to 3 years of hair, just for reference, what this next year is going to be. So, so when I ended the year, it came to here, and now it reaches here. So hypothetically, according to videos and pictures I've seen about this, my hair should maybe reach somewhere around here-ish. Around, for lack of better terms, the breast area or chest area. That's where it should reach, hypothetically, by the third year. So come next Independence Day, that's what I'll be rocking. I would say that maybe next video, which will be the 2.5, it might come to armpit level, maybe, and then maybe down here. We'll see though. You never know. But yeah, it has been a great 2 years, and I look forward to the next many years doing this, especially obviously the near future. But yeah, we'll see you guys in the next video, and until then, hey though.